Hi there, Valerie Gordon here again with another easy baking confectionery video. So, I own Valerie Confections, which is primarily a chocolate company, and it occurred to me that I hadn't done a chocolate video yet, and I was like, come on, let's get on board, Valerie, let's go. So, making chocolate dipped anything is super, super easy. And this lesson is really about moving away from the chocolate dipped strawberry. So I went to the farmer's market this morning, but you could also go to a grocery store like the Whole Foods or whatever, and got the most stunning array of dried fruits. I mean, this is amazing. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous situation. We've got dried oranges, dried pears, apricots, apples, persimmons, figs, and more. Oh, we have two kinds of pears. I have Asian pear and a normal Bartlett pear dried. So the other great thing about practicing your chocolate skills on dried fruit is that this is very shelf stable, unlike a fresh strawberry, which you have to consume in a day. These can hang out, you can gift them, you can send them to someone, which is super cool. Okay, so what do I have here for Chocolate 101? I have 2 pounds of melted chocolate that I've brought to a temperature of 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So I've melted it in a microwave, actually. In a lot of confectionery kitchens, we have large equipment that does that kind of stuff. Today, I just used a microwave for this amount of chocolate, and that's what you can use as well. What kind of chocolate did I use? I used Guittard 61% chocolate because this is A, super delicious chocolate. B, it's really easy to find. You can find Guittard chocolate pretty much anywhere you are. You can ship it online, but a lot of grocery stores have it. What if you only find Guittard chocolate bars? Can you do that and do the same process? Absolutely, 100% you can. So I need my chocolate. I have 3 pounds total here about just to play with. And I also have a digital thermometer. This is a great tool to have in the kitchen. And also, it's fun because you laser it. It's a laser thing, and you can laser people and see how hot they are. Okay, so I'm starting off with my chocolate, which I've taken to 120 degrees. So what that essentially does is it breaks down the chocolate. It separates the fat, the sugar, and the cocoa. And then I'm using some perfectly tempered chocolate, which essentially is the chocolate you would buy. And I'm doing something called the seeding process. And I'm just adding a handful at a time to this hot chocolate and melting it down. I don't want to add all of it at the same time because that will sort of shock the chocolate a little bit. It's sort of like bringing too much of a cooling agent into the chocolate at once. And the volume that I'm using, I've got 2 pounds of melted chocolate that I started with 120 degrees. I want to add 25% of that chocolate by weight as seed chocolate. So that would be 8 ounces of chocolate is what I have on hand as seed chocolate. So I'm just stirring this guy, stirring until that bit melts. And then I'm going to add a little bit more incrementally. So with each addition, I'm making sure that I've fully melted that new chocolate that I've added in. And I'm going to watch my temperature as I go. And where I want to stop adding chocolate is when I get to 90 degrees, because that will be just the teeniest bit hotter than perfectly tempered chocolate. What I want to start dipping my fruit at is 88 degrees. I know I'm throwing so much math at you right now. So 120 degrees to melt. I stop adding chocolate when I've hit 90, and I start dipping my fruit when it's at 88 degrees. Super easy. So I'm just going to keep stirring and adding this until I get down to 90 degrees. And this is kind of fun when you get to do this stuff. You get to see these beautiful ribbons of chocolate. Okay, so we've got a perfectly tempered chocolate. It looks super luscious, and we're ready to go. I'm just going to start diving in on this gorgeous array of dried fruit. And we'll start with, these are stunning. If you do a half chocolate dip on a dried orange, amazing. So when you do this, here's the trick. You want to go in until you're just halfway, and then you really need to shake it out a little bit. so that you don't have too much excess chocolate. And then you get a really nice finish. And then you do this, you rotate up so that drip comes on the other underside of whatever you've dipped, and then you want to lay it down on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Let's do one of those again because they're so stunning. So I'm just going in halfway, and then I really want to shake that off, just like that. Tuck it under, and I lay it down. This is like one of the most zen things in the world, by the way. It's so satisfying. And then I like to do angles on some stuff. I've got these gorgeous dried pears here, and look at that beautiful shape. So if you do it diagonal, you get sort of like a cool look to it. If you don't shake it off, what you get remaining is sort of a pooling of chocolate when it sets up. In the chocolate industry, we call that a foot. So if a bonbon or a fruit has like an extension of the chocolate, that's called a foot. And it doesn't look that neat. So here, I've gone diagonal on this cutie. Let's do a persimmon. God, chic. This is a dried fuyu persimmon. I'm going in halfway. Could you dip it further? Absolutely, if that's what you want to do. I like to leave half of it undipped, just so you can really taste the dried fruit in its natural state, along with the dipped part, and also it's easier to eat because you can just pick up the fruit part of it. This is so fun. Now figs are great. When I'm dipping figs, I do like to cut the fig in half so that you can see the inside, which is beautiful, and I hold it from the stem, and I'm going in sort of like butt first, right? Again, at a slight angle. I shake off my excess, I tuck under, and I go on my sheet pan. Now, how do I get these gorgeous chocolates to set up? It is good to stick this in the refrigerator. After I've filled my tray, I'll put it in the refrigerator for just like a couple minutes to help it set, because that cool down makes the chocolate sort of come back together into a nice solid state. Could you do something fun like marshmallows with kids and put sprinkles? 100%. Something I love dipping is sugar cookies. So you can take a sugar cookie, dip like half it, or a chocolate chip cookie, do some sprinkles. So fun, so easy, and really, really satisfying. Okay, so I'm turning these into a lovely gift from my darling friend who is gluten-free and dairy-free, because everyone wants a treat, right? And I don't know, I really love this assortment. So, boxes, obviously I have tons of chocolate boxes here. Where do you get chocolate boxes? You could get them at Michael's. Michael's is a great place to get things like chocolate boxes, little jewelry boxes you could also use, and any like sort of baking supply store. Here in Los Angeles we have Surface. In New York, there's that place, I think it's called Caracas. In any case, they're all over, but Michael's, everywhere. Everywhere has boxes that you can use. Okay, so I'm just sort of layering the chocolates inside the box in a cute little fashion. So I've got my apples in here, I've got the oranges in here. I'm not overstuffing it, but I want it to feel generous, right? Totally. I've got some cute figs in here. And love this. Love, love, love. All right, I think we're pretty good. This is pretty cute, guys. I don't know, kind of satisfied. All right, so here's where we landed. Look at, adorable. Chocolate 101. You can totally do this. This whole process, not even an hour. Not even an hour. It's easier than baking a cake, 100%. Drop into my DMs if you need guidance or you get nervous. I'm here for you. All right, guys, have fun. Take care.